Sup, dudes? Here to do a Balisong review on the Brous Blades Blackcell Balisong. It's a lot of B's. Brous Blades Blackcell. Anyways, this is a full-length Balisong with titanium liners and G10 scales. It's got some pretty prominent cutouts in the blade, which is fairly unusual for a lot of Balisongs, which I kind of like. But yeah, let's talk about it. This has a few things that I like about it. This knife, there's a couple things going for it, but it also has a ton of problems, things I do not like about this knife. So let's cover the good stuff first. First good point. I like the way it flips. It's got good balance. It's very similar to a rep. Probably a little less weight on the handles, but overall, very good neutral feeling. I also like the handle scales. They're a little bit more, can I focus here? They're more square and less round, and I personally find that is good for my own flipping style. I feel like too much rounded handles end up with less consistent flips for me. The second strong point about this knife is that I think it looks cool. That's it. I like the way that the blade kind of curves. It kind of arches up. I like the way the cutouts look. Liner G10 knives, fine with me. Aesthetically, I think this knife is good. That's not the case for everybody, though. I think the guy who sold it to me said this thing was ugly. So, to each his own. But that's it. That's all the good things about this knife. The rest are all bad. So the first main point of why this knife is terrible is the bushings. And there is none. The bushings are a lie. On the website, Brous Blades website, you will see that it tells you it runs on bushings and washers. That is a fucking lie. The bushings are, you can see them, they're press fit into the pivot holes for the Balisong. So they do not freely move. They're not performing the job of what bushings are actually supposed to be doing, which is extremely disappointing. It kind of feels a bit like a scam to me. So it's not a real bushing knife. Essentially, you're paying $300 for a washer knife, and that's extremely disappointing. And because there's no proper bushings, this thing has a whole host of other problems. For one, the play is atrocious. And this is, let's see if I can get out a shot of this. This is tuned to the point where it's not even that free range of motion, to be honest. Any tighter on these handles and they just won't move. Like, horizontally, the movement is shit. The handles do not move free. It's tap city here. As you can see, blade rub is starting to set in, and this is a relatively new knife. I don't know how many months ago these released, but for example, my rep has a small bit of blade rub, little bitty, and it's accumulated over the course of like 3 years. This thing is pretty new, and it's already, you can see it on camera. You can see it picked up. It's awful. I hate the sound of it. You can hear the blade slap the handle when it goes in. And for me, I feel like I'm a pretty auditory person. The Balisong's got to sound good. Like a Ham knife, like a Basilisk or a Spectre or a well-tuned rep, Alpha Beast, they all sound good. They sound money. This thing sounds like shit. I've heard CCCs that sound better than this. There are CCCs with better tolerances than this. And for a $300 knife, it's $289, but okay, it's a $300 knife. For this to succumb to a self-defeating issue like blade rub is absurd. It's really a shame. Pretty much every other knife maker knows how to make a good bushing knife, even for even for inexpensive, like NRB can make amazing bushing knives. BRS can make good bushing knives. Hom can make good bushing knives. And I feel like Brous blades seem to me like somewhat of a name in the knife industry, you know? It seemed they were, you know, high quality, which is even what they put on the box for this Balisong. The box is actually pretty good, though, by the way. I wish more people would make box cases with, like, padding on the inside. I think that was a nice touch, but that was pretty much the only nice touch on this thing. Brous Blades does not know what the fuck they're doing with Balisongs. This is pretty much high-class trash, to be honest. So I would normally recommend if you pick one up or you don't pick one up, although I think they only made about 500 of these guys, so you're probably not going to find one. If you do, I mean, be wary. It's going to have some issues. I'm probably just going to try to sell this one, just get what I paid for it pretty much. Maybe I'm going to look to see if I can get somebody to mod it and put actual bushings in it, and then maybe we'll see what this Balisong really could have been. Because like I said, I really like the way this looks. When I heard about this and they were showing off the prototypes, I was all in for it, you know. Just like, oh, this is going to be great. Brous Blades and, you know, Flytanium are collaborating. I'm sure they'll put out a great product. They didn't. It's very disappointing. It's partially a scam. It's not real bushings. Flip's all right, though. But other than that, that's the review. I guess I'm out, guys.